guys, so today I'm going to be doing a makeup tutorial for you, or kind of like just a makeup look, because recently I did my Essentials MAC video where I told you about those MAC beginner products that I thought was really good to start out with. And a lot of you guys asked me to do a video where I actually use the products just to see how I use them and how you can use them as well and how good they are and how they perform, and I thought that was a really good idea. So that is what I'm going to do today, and yeah, without further ado, let's get started. First things first, I talked about the MAC Prep+Prime primer. This is the one for yellow undertones, and I think it's called Radiant Yellow, and it's just going to give a kind of like radiant glow to your skin. Plus, it's going to make your makeup last for a longer time, so it's just really good to start out with a primer on your face. And I actually really like this one because it doesn't feel silicone-ish on the skin. It actually feels like a second moisturizer. Then for foundation, I'm going to use the MAC Face and Body Foundation. This is in the color C1, which is the lightest one for those of you with yellow undertones in your skin. It's really nice, it's water-based, so remember to shake it really well before you use it. Like that. I personally like to use a beauty blender to blend it in, but you can use whatever brush or sponge or whatever you like to use. So I'm just going to dot something out on my face and then gently dot it in. And this is the lightest covering foundation from MAC. So it doesn't give that much coverage, but it looks really natural, and it's great for summer especially because it doesn't feel heavy on the skin, and yeah, I just really like it. The next step is concealer for me. I really like a good covering concealer, so I really like the MAC Pro Longwear concealer. This is in the color NC20, and I just use it wherever I've got some like spots or redness that I want to cover. I don't use it under my eyes because to me it is way too heavy under the eyes, and I don't really like that feeling. I know that some people really like that, but I don't. And I'm just using like 2 pumps of it, and then I'm using the beauty blender just to blend it out wherever I need some extra coverage. For those lazy days where you don't feel like wearing foundation and blah 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 blah, just go with a good concealer. So I don't know if I told you guys where I'm going to this summer. You know, me and my family, we're always traveling when it's summer, and this year we're going to, guess where? The US. Obviously, we are freaks. We love the US so much. But this time we're going to go to New York firstly. We're going to be there for 5-6 days, something like that. And I'm so excited. This time we're totally going to see the Statue of Liberty and just do all of those like sightseeing things that we didn't do last year. And then we're also going to go to LA, which I'm so excited about. I miss LA so much. I love the LA vibe. So after we've been to LA, we're actually going to drive to Las Vegas, and we're going to drive on Route 66 and all of that jazz. We're just going to see so much of the US nature as well. I'm just really excited about that because normally we've always just been like in the big cities and wherever it's been like hot and tourist-ish, but I don't know, it's just going to be really cool to drive on Route 66 and try that old American feel. I'm just so excited about that. And I think that I'm going to vlog once again if you would like to see it. I mean, I like vlogging my like vacations and so on because there's a lot of things going on, and yeah, I really like looking back on those vlogs. It makes me so happy. So if you're interested in seeing a vlog, let me know. That was a lot of talking, I don't know where that came from, but now I'm going to use my Studio Fix powder from MAC in the color NC20 just to set my foundation. And as I told you in my video, this one is the one that covers the most of all of their powders, so don't really use too much of it. So now I've just zoomed you in on this area because we're going to move on to the eyes. And the first step that I want to do is to prime my eyes with my MAC Paint Pot in the color Soft Ochre, which is my absolute favorite for priming my eyes. It is yellow toned, so it really suits my skin tone so nicely. And for those of you who've got more like pinky undertones in your skin, definitely go for the Paint Pot called Painterly because that one is more like pink based. You can easily just use your fingers to apply it, but I like to use a brush. This is not from MAC, but yeah. Different preferences, definitely. And I just use it all over my eyelid, so all the way up to my brow, and then just blend it in. And I love it because it just evens out the skin tone so nicely, and it works great as a base for your eyeshadows, so it's just incredible. See the difference from this eye to that eye? It is incredible. It just looks much more fresh and pulled together. A little miracle trick if you ask me. And once again, if you've got one of those lazy days where you don't feel like wearing any eyeshadows, just put this on. I would say this though, that for those of you who've got like a bit oily eyelids and that you've got trouble with creasing eyeshadows, you probably have to set this with an eyeshadow on top, because else this will crease on you. The next step for me is definitely my brows, and I'm going to use the MAC eyeshadow in the color Omega. This is great for those of you who are blondes. If you are brunette, I would go for some darker shades, but still remember that they have to be matte eyeshadows. You can use Coquette if you're a bit darker, or Brune. But this one is really great for those of you who've got blonde hair, and yeah. I'm just going to use my MAC 266 angled brush, as you can see. I just totally realized whenever I do my brows, I'm always so freaking silent. It's like, I need to be like totally focused, like seriously. Oh my gosh. That is the brows done, and I actually feel quite stupid about not mentioning this product here because I really like it. This is the MAC Brow Set. This is just in the clear color, even though it looks kind of nasty. Seriously, so nasty. But it's really good just to set your brows, and that is definitely an extra step that I would definitely advise you to do. So it just comes with a little brush, and then you just brush through your brows. I would say that the brow set from MAC is a bit more sticky than those that I'm used to, but I do like that sticky feeling sometimes. It just really feels like that your eyebrows are in place. So yeah, I like that. Sticky brows right there. Now, the great thing that I also mentioned about the eyeshadows from MAC is that they can both be used in the brows as a brow color, but you can also use it as an eyeshadow, obviously, duh. So I'm going to use the same color Omega in my crease just to warm it up, just so my eyes look a bit more like alive, which is a really good idea. So I'm just going to show you that. I'm just using my MAC 217 blending brush, and then I'm just popping it in my crease. And that will just warm up my crease without looking too unnatural. So it's kind of like I've made an effort, but you can't really tell that I've made an effort. Good. Oh my gosh, I don't know how the weather is wherever you are in the world, but in Denmark it is getting so hot. It is finally starting to feel like proper spring, and I'm just like sitting in a top, and I'm still really hot. Like seriously, I'm like a sweaty pig right now. I'm like, I really don't like fall, and I'm okay with spring, but like summer and winter, they are like my prime times. They are like the best, because summer you're like going on summer vacation, and in the winter time it's Christmas. It's just like the best. And spring and autumn, they're just like waiting periods in my mind. It's just like, but I really like how everything is just coming out again, the trees and the leaves and the flowers and daffodils. I love daffodils. To my sister, daffodils. We've got this thing, but seriously, I love how everything is just coming back to life again. It feels so lovely, and I love everything about it. I'm just popping a tiny bit under my eye as well. I probably look so crazy right now. It's okay. You know me, I know you. Kinda. I'm in such a weird mood today. You could, if you felt like doing a bit more of a smoky eye, just put the entire eyeshadow on the entire lid. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna stop here because I think this is a nice everyday look. And now I'm going to continue with my eyelashes. I know this is kind of cheating, but I know that MAC has done an eyelash curler, and you can definitely use that one. I've got that one as well, but honestly, it just doesn't work half as good as this one from Shimura. So I'm going to use this one to curl my lashes. I know I'm cheating here, but seriously, I just want to use the best products, and honestly, I'm not crazy in love with the eyelash curler from MAC, so this is going to do. and you'll just have to deal with it. Once you've curled your lashes, you're going to use mascara because that is the next step. The one that I talked about in my previous video was the Extended Play Gigablack Lash Mascara from MAC, because I think it's a good starting out mascara because the wand is so long and teeny tiny, like really slim, so it's really easy to work with. It is not too choppy, so you won't get it everywhere when you apply it, and I just feel like that it gives really beautiful lashes. It separates very nicely as well, so it's a good starting out mascara if you ask me, and it's not too expensive either. So I'm just getting that on my lashes. I can't really speak when I do this. Quickly want to mention about the mascara before moving on is that this is also water resistant. It is not waterproof, but it's definitely water resistant. I always have trouble with the smudging mascara, especially with my bottom lashes, but with this one I never experience any smudging, so it is so great for those of you who've got really long lashes like me. Moving on to bronzing powder, I'm going to use the MAC bronzing powder called Matte Bronze. I do believe that that is the only like truly matte bronze that they've got in their collection of bronzes, and I really like this one. I think it's great for all skin types and all skin tones as well. I would say that if you've got like really fair skin, like really like porcelain fair skin, it may be a tiny teeny bit too dark for you, but if you've got skin like me or darker skin, it's going to work wonders. And I'm going to use my MAC 168 brush. To use it up here and my temples just to frame my entire face. It gives a nice warmth to the face as well. Moving on to blusher, the perfect blush for like almost all skin tones is definitely the one called Melba. I think it's so pretty. It's a matte blusher and it is just a perfect mix of an apricot peachy color. The last step for your face is a good highlighter, and I really love highlighting my face because it just gives a really nice glow to the skin. The one that I mentioned in my MAC Beginners Kit video was the one called Soft and Gentle. This is a mineralized skin finish, but I had some of you saying in the comments down below that you preferred using Light Capade because Soft and Gentle was a bit too dark for you. So once again, if you've got like really pale skin, and I'm talking porcelain skin here, I would say Soft and Gentle, yes, it will probably be a bit too dark for you to use as a highlighter. Then I would rather use it as kind of like a blush bronzer for you. It is just what you prefer and what works for your skin tone, obviously. I am going to use the Soft and Gentle one because that's the one that I talked about in my video. But once again, pale skin, go for Light Capade. And I'm using it just above my blush. Look at that. Wow, I love it. It's gorgeous. I love it so much. And I'm also using it on the bridge of my nose and on my cupid's bow. And the last step and the last product that I mentioned in my video was a lipstick, and this is the one called Hue, which is my personal favorite, like nude pinky lipstick. I think it's amazing. It's in a glaze finish, so it gives it a really nice kind of like sheeny glossy finish on your lips. Makeup result, guys. I think it's beautiful. It's very natural, if you get what I mean, but you can obviously still tell that I'm wearing like makeup, but it looks really good as an everyday makeup look. If you ask me, this is kind of like my go-to makeup look because I think it's very neutral without being too natural, so I really like that. And hopefully this could inspire you and tell you how to use the different kinds of products and how they work on the skin. And yeah, that was just kind of like the idea of this video, just to show you how I use the products. And if you thought that it was helpful in any way, please thumbs it up. That would mean so much to me, and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. That makes me so happy. Until next time, have the most amazing day. Bye!